it's teachers, it's the teachers or the trainers' responsibility also to make their learners learn. If they're not learning, you are equally responsible. Why are they not learning, my dear friends? If I am here as a mentor and a teacher and a trainer for this next 1 hour, and if I'm not learning 3 things which you can apply, then I'm not a mentor, my dear friends. My past doesn't guarantee my present. Yes, in the past, maybe people called me top 10 corporate trainer and a coach, but I have to prove it again today. That's what is this industry all about. And I also realize the fact that we trainers and coaches are like postmans. We get it from somewhere, we give it to somewhere. We get it from somewhere and give it to somewhere. And we take pride in it. And yes, I've done it. And yet, we never develop a bad attitude or an attitude saying, I know so much. The moment you as a trainer and a coach have that attitude that I have a lot of wisdom, with wisdom comes attitude, my dear friends. When that comes, you're finished as a trainer and a coach. Nobody will come to you. You need to be very, very modest as a trainer and a coach. Because remember, wisdom is never ending. It's an ocean, my dear friends. And you know only this. Everyone say, I know only this. I do this with me. Everyone say, everyone do this with me. Do this with me. I know only this. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. And then last but not the least, and this is not just for training and coaching in general in life, I have realized that don't be serious in anything. Don't be serious. And this is what Ratan Tata tells us, that the greatest leader, Ratan Tata, says, but the fact that don't be serious in life and be sincere in life can really make your journey easy. You don't have to be serious. Oh, we have to learn so much. Oh, I have to be a trainer. Oh, I have a lot of stress. No. So you need to be sincere, and that's about it. So with that, I would like to open up for questions, right? What's stopping you from being a trainer and a coach? Some of you are getting into this industry as your second innings. Some of you want to be a soft skills trainer in a university or in a corporate, or somebody has already under soft skills. We have 25 skills, by the way. Somebody wants to be a team building trainer. Somebody wants to be a communication skills trainer. Somebody wants to be a leadership trainer and a coach. Right? So I don't know at what position are you in at this point of time, but whatever it is, you can ask me your questions. You can ask me your questions. Okay, somebody's asking course fee. There is no point telling you the course fee because you have to know what is the course. Don't go by the fees, guys. First of all, I think the most important thing is to understand what you should learn as a trainer and a coach, right? So let us play this game. Whether you are asking me questions or I would ask you questions, right? So in fact, let's do this. You ask me a question, I will ask you a question back. Good? Right? Let's play this game, right? And my questions is not to make you feel that, hey, I don't know much. Is only to make you feel that, hey, there are a lot of things which you should explore and know as trainers and coaches. Perfect? Good? How to be, oh, there's a question already, by the way, right? Currently, trainer, introductory. Okay, Ankita, if you can just read that, behavioral trainer want to decide further. Sorry, my voice is low. Oh, my voice is not low. I've been shouting.
Yeah, sure.
I think maybe
Kaushik,
for some of you.
You want me to read the comments coming from Swati?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Swati Nirwan is asking, I am currently a trainer into product training, behavioral training, want to evolve further.
Okay. See, yes, there are a lot of these kinds of trainings, right? If you have to evolve further, you need to learn, my dear friends. You need to get exposure to more ways of learning. A lot of people who are product trainers or process trainers, they get into soft skills in general. They pick leadership or they pick anything on organizational development, right? So that's what they do. And if you learn, then you can definitely go for it. But it's like whatever you have, let's say a lot of people now in our industry, we say, how do I find my identity? Or how do I find my niche as a trainer? And this is where I would say that there are three things, right? One is your past experience, right? How much of past experience you have on the area where you want to train. That's my first thing. My second thing is, what are the problems you want to resolve in this world, in your workspace or at personal level? What are the problems you want to resolve? Let's say now that you are talking about process training, of course you are talking about work. So the second thing is the problem you want to resolve. So with that, the third thing is, what's your interest? Right? What's your future interest? And that is very, very key for you to also find out. And if your interest lies in something, if you want to resolve some problem and your experience is backing you up, then you can definitely take other areas, provided you learn more. Right? I hope I answered your question. So who else? How to build scalability as a trainer? Okay, perfect. So I think I have seen a lot of questions, and while I'm answering to each one of them, I wanted to show you one thing. Right? I wanted to show you one thing. I feel, and this is my master deck. A lot of times people ask me, and I'm sure some of the questions were also like that. Right? By the way, this is a master class for everyone who wants to get into soft skills, irrespective of your experience. You might be an educator or a teacher, or you might be working somewhere and want to be a corporate trainer or a soft skills trainer. You want to train only on universities or startups, doesn't matter, right? And so there are people, this is an industry where a 20-year-old can be a trainer, a 60-year-old can also be a trainer, right? Only thing is topics would be different, areas would be different because your exposure is different, but the framework remains the same, right? Because it all depends on the audience. So we're going to cover all this today. My first thing which I wanted to cover is this. A lot of times people ask me that what are the three things which is needed? What are the three areas which you should really look at to become a trainer, right? And to me, if you want to be a great soft skills trainer, because ultimately we all talk about soft skills here, right? The first and foremost thing is your exposure to soft skills. There are some 25 odd soft skills, by the way, right? What is your exposure to soft skills so far? And if you have not got any exposure, will you be able to learn? Right? Let's say there are a lot of trainers who say, I'm a communication skills trainer. And the moment an HR and an L&D guy asks them, hey, can you tell me what kind of communication models you know? Can you tell me what are the do's and don'ts when it's about communicating with a client? Now, you cannot say, well, you need to be alert, you need to be listening. People want to know more, right? Unfortunately, what is happening is, in this today's world, every video, every learning is like somebody talks about body, mind, soul. Every video is the same. Everyone gives gyan, right? But if you're not digging deep in terms of what value you can give, then people will not buy you. So it has to be on soft skills, or what are the models and stuff like that, right? Let's say, for example, when I started back in 2008, people never gave me work. I wanted to be a leadership trainer. Back then, I was in UK, and people never gave me work. And I was realizing and scratching my head, why are people not giving me work? And I realized that I lacked the depth in terms of wisdom. I was actually a copycat trainer, right? I was copying from somebody, taking their slides, and I wanted to be a trainer and stuff like that. And people asked me, hey, what all leadership models you know by? I was saying, leadership models, I don't know much. Here and there, something like servant leadership or situational leadership models or something like that is what I had exposure, and I used to tell them, but they were never convinced. And then when I realized that a little research, so I did research for almost 6 months, and I realized that there are 40 odd models of leadership in this world. And so deep, my difference. And then for 6 months, when I did that, a lot of research on 40 odd models, Then I got the depth and I created my own model of leadership, which was the umbrella model of leadership those days. And then people are ready to talk to me. That's the depth which people are looking for, guys. And it will come within 6 months, right? If somebody is telling you that in 4 days you can be a trainer, come on, guys. This is an industry for us, right? This is an industry for us. This is, right? We took a lot of time in terms of getting into the depth. And you are saying in 4 days you can become a great trainer just because you speak well. You need the depth. Everyone speaks well nowadays, right? The second thing, which is very important for you to be more familiar with the framework. We said train the trainer, train the future trainer. What's the framework in terms of facilitation and training? Right? Is only running a PowerPoint, doing a couple of icebreakers, running a couple of videos, doing some case studies is training or something else? Right? And this is where a lot of facilitation techniques come into picture. This is where a lot of facilitation techniques like learning experience design, techniques like instructional design come into picture. A lot of things which are trending in today's world in terms of storytelling or story viewing, right? All that you guys have to get exposure of. And then only you will know what are the latest trends. And then finally, in terms of attracting opportunities, somebody should teach you how to write a proposal. What are the questions people ask when they do training need analysis? When even, let's say, people have called, let's say, Pradyot, and Pradyot is actually on the phone, and people are asking, the HRs are asking questions saying, hey, Pradyot, can you tell me 5 scenarios where your training will not work, right? Or will work? At that level, people are actually expecting answers from you, right? So similarly, you need to also understand the jargons in this industry. First time when I came to this industry, somebody said, hey, would you be able to do a leadership intervention for us? I said, intervention? I don't do intervention. I only do training programs. And then I realized that training programs are called interventions. Training programs are called interventions, right? So you need to be familiar with these jargons. You need to be familiar with the pricing models here. So, because if you underprice a program, you overprice a program, you will not get it. Somebody should teach you how to make a trainer CV, a trainer video CV. Somebody should tell you what is the end-to-end cycle, how does work come, what are the payment terms. And that is the only way, guys, you will get a lot of work. When I exclusively travel in India, a lot of trainers don't have work. I feel bad because they are so talented. And the only reason they're not getting work because nobody has taught them how to write proposals, how to get exposed to this industry, right? What do the HRs ask and L&D people ask? Learning and development. L&D is learning and development people, right? And that's where you need to get exposure. So these are the 3 things you should get exposure to if you want to be a brilliant or an outstanding trainer. Got it, guys? Right? Okay. So I hope this answers some of your question. And if it doesn't, I'm going to, by the way, still answer some of your questions. But before that, tell me, it's my time to ask you questions also, right? So my first question, tell me, who can tell me what is learning experience design? Anybody? Jaya is raising a, oh, Jaya was raising for something else. Okay, any answers, guys? Okay, let me do this. I'll change the game. I'll ask you 3-4 questions. Then you ask me 3-4 questions, right? Okay, who can tell me what is instructional design? Nobody? Okay. Who can tell me what is the difference? Oh, Aparna was trying. Yes, Aparna. Aparna, we cannot hear you. I think for some reason, yeah. So Jaya says my voice is not clear constantly. My voice is clear. I think maybe your microphone. Ankita, Sridevi, Kirti, can you guys hear me properly? Okay, good. Okay. Aparna was trying to answer, but no problem.
Am I audible?
Yes, now you are.
All right. Oh. I don't know if I'm right, but I'll just try giving the answer. Instructional designing is, I guess, we develop the modules or the uh, courses uh,
Hmm,
as an
good.
e-learning.
Very good. Okay. Good. Great, great try. Right. But what I think what she was trying to explain is how it is used, which is good. Right. But you need to know the depth in terms of instructional design. If you have to design a new course, guys, right? How can it cater to more audiences? Right. Similarly, tell me, how do you guys have any exposure to any audience connect model? How do we connect with audiences? Any idea? Okay. Empathy, icebreakers, to eye contact, asking questions, need analysis. Good. Body language. Good. Okay. What are the different types of learners according to you? What are the different types of learners according to you? And so on and so forth. I can ask you a lot of questions, guys. Slow learners. Perfect. So whatever I asked you guys, passive, active learner, passive learner, right? Some of these answers are common answers, and some of them obviously has got some exposure, and that's why you are able to answer it. But having said that, the idea is to make sure these basics are very, very solid in you, that these fundamentals are very solid in you in terms of what is instructional design, what is learning experience design, what are the different kinds of audience connect models. I'm not, asking you that, hey, you need to be attentive and ask questions and stuff like that. That you will do. But in terms of more depth, in terms of what are the different kinds of audiences, how will you connect with different kinds of audiences, right? By the way, we're going to learn one thing today. We're going to learn one thing today when it comes to audience connect. And similarly, a lot of other things like what is the corporate end-to-end cycle. And by the way, you don't have to, worry too much, because these all these things you can learn very quickly, right? One hour, you will learn one thing, my dear friends. And that way, your fundamentals would be very, very solid, right? Oh, somebody cried. Okay. Good, nice. So, my dear friends, the idea is to make sure that you get at least exposed to what we don't know. They say we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. Only when somebody is exposing you to all this, you will know what's the scope to learn, right? So wherever possible, guys, I want you to now keep searching these keywords, right? What is the difference between things like storytelling and story viewing, right? What is grow model? Grow model is again a widely used model in our industry. And I can go endlessly here, right? But at the same time, while I'm asking a lot of questions, while you will learn that in your future, I want you to give one website where you can start learning, right? And that website is called trainingindustry.com, which is our Gita, Bible, Quran, everything, right? It's called trainingindustry.com, right? So I want you to now start going to that website and start learning, read their blogs. This is where the best of the trainers, world's best trainers, are in this platform and writing blogs and articles. And I think that's a one source where you will get a lot of authentic knowledge if you want to get into this training industry. Perfect. So those are my questions. I'm done. The idea was not to tell you that, hey, you don't know this, but these are some of the scopes which you will have to learn if you have to be a great trainer, my dear friends. Perfect. Nafisa is saying, what's the website? It's called trainingindustry.com. It's called trainingindustry.com. Good. So now let me take questions, right? Okay. Who wants to go? I think there are, you can ask me questions. You don't have to put in the chat box, guys. Don't worry, we are only 73 people. So you can unmute yourself and ask your question. And you can raise your hand to ask your question. Okay. So be specific in your question. Jaya has a question. Yes, Jaya, go for
it. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Jaya.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening, Jaya.
Yeah, I'm a soft skills trainer. I have 7 years of experience. My question is, in this tech savvy era, how can we train students for the initial, the students who are learning the skills initially? In the past, we used to tell them to read the newspaper, stand in front of the mirror and communicate, or talk with your friends, or doing any role play and all. Now, in this tech savvy era, what I'll do is I'll give the student to record a video of 20 or 25 minutes. If possible, it's 20 minutes. Once the video is finished, then mute the video and listen, or check your facial expressions. After listening it, unmute the video whether your facial expressions are matching to your voice or not. So other than this, any other techniques to the students that we can give?
See, there can be, yes, the people are tech savvy now, right? And that's why the different, I would say there are different ways of doing techniques and making people learn, right? But one of the things which is actually becoming popular when it comes to today's audience is in our learning and development, we call it the kinesthetic way of learning. It is called the kinesthetic way of learning. Now, the kinesthetic way of learning is, of course, more emotions, more feelings, and more being there and doing it. Let's say when I keep saying you, hey, give me a high five, give me a high five, give me a high five. Like, what am I doing, by the way? Can we all do this? Yes, yes, yes. How do you feel? Okay, tell me how do you feel? Yes, yes, yes. And when I'm doing all that to you, just to create that kinesthetic feeling, and more than visual, auditory, way of learning, we all know it. VAK, somebody said VAK, but the kinesthetic learning is the need of the hour. That doesn't come naturally, and that's where you can see that you are able to make more inroads when it comes to today's learner. Second thing is, today's learner is more inclined towards small nuggets, things like micro learning. What is micro learning? People want to learn things in 5 minutes or 10 minutes and 15 minutes, right? And we as trainer, let's say I'm a sales trainer, I should be able to teach sales for 8 hours. I should be happy. Even for 8 minutes, I should be happy. Now, do I have the ability to teach the 8 hours thing, summarize in such a way that I teach in 8 minutes is the key. That's not easy, my dear friends. So you need to remember, they are all hard pressed for time. And that's where they also want you to respect their time. And that's what every learner is looking for. Right. So I think these are the techniques. And of course, when you join programs, every program nowadays teach you a lot of tech savvy techniques. There are a lot of tools which you can use so that the audience engagement can happen. Right. A lot of digital tools which are used. Right. So you can definitely explore there. Okay. Anybody else? Any questions? Any other questions, guys? Anyone else? Okay, if not, let's now learn something which is more in terms of audience connect. How do we make sure that we as trainers learn how to do audience connect?
Excuse me, sir.
And this is where, yes, Sweta has a question. Yeah, Sweta, I will take your question after this. I will take your question after this.
Okay, sir.
So, okay, Sweta was talking or something? No problem. I'll take your question after this. So, this model, which I'm going to teach you now, is called the ABC model for audience connect. What is it called? The ABC model for audience connect. Now, this model says that we can have 3 types of audiences. We can have 3 types of audiences. Let's say now also, when I look at 73 people here, there are 3 kinds of audiences. The first category is called the A category. Of course, it is ABC model, so categories are also like that: A category, B category, and C category. Right? Now, the A category of audience is called the aggressive set of audience. By the way, being aggressive is not a negative word at all. Right? Being aggressive is making sure that I am trying to contribute to the training program as a learner. I am making sure that the trainer is actually being challenged, and I am actually giving a lot of ideas and thoughts. And I want to also add to the learning so that the participants will gain from it, right? So that's a category of audiences. When it's a face-to-face training program, you will see that they are actually, most of them are actually sitting in the first couple of rows, right? In a Zoom training, there is no first row and last row. The Zoom has made sure every row is same, by the way, right? So my dear friends, that's your A category. Now, how will you connect with your A category? You have to take care of them, right? So A category of audiences can be taken care by giving them a little more importance, by giving them a little more stage time, by having them express. Let's say Aparna is A for Aparna and A for A category. I have to make sure that I give a little more importance to Aparna to have her talk to the participants and share her views. Perfect. And that's how you should be able to do it, right? The second category of audience is called the B category. Any guesses what does B mean? What does B stand for? Any guesses? Any guesses? Let me see. I see a lot of. Okay. Shweta says I missed half an hour. Don't worry. We're going to recap. Okay. B category, balance. Selva says balance. What else? What else? B category. B category of audience, my dear friends. Keep typing, my friends. Keep typing. Right. So if you're really focusing, and I really like the way you're focusing. Okay. B category. Biased. Rahul says biased. Okay, bored audience, Nishant says. Okay, good. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? And Chandana is going to type something. Aparna is thinking. Kirti is thinking. Sridevi is going to write something. No problem. So, my dear friends, B category of audience, they mean business. They mean business. Assuming Chandana is B category, she is here. She says, hey, Kaushik, I've given you my time. And time is the most precious thing in today's world, more than money. You make sure that you take care of me in the next 90 minutes. And these people are very, very professional. They take a lot of notes. They make most out of it, right? They ask specific questions, right? So that's the B category, right? Now, the C category of people, right, are casual set of people. They're very casual. In fact, they never wanted to join the training program. Somebody else has sent them. Maybe their bosses, maybe their spouses. In today's context, the spouses are sending also. Hey, you go, man, you're making a lot of noise at home. Why don't you just go and, right? Some of you are smiling. So maybe, I don't know whether you're in that category. Huh? Okay, but that's the C category, guys, right? Now, the rule of audience connect is like this. How do we take care of all these three categories, A, B, and C? And hence, I'll be able to connect with my audience better. So as you know, A category is very simple. A category, you give them some stage time and you will be able to connect with them. B category of audience, by the way, you don't have to do anything to them. They will take care of themselves. They will take care of themselves. Just leave them. C category of audience. Now, every trainer, typical trainers, what they do is they really get the C category who are casual people, and they get them saying, hey, you have low energy, come and do these role plays. Come and do this activity along with me. And that can be a biggest blunder because they are lacking energy to start with. And you are actually getting them to do role plays and to do activities. And that can spoil your activity, by the way. So the best way to connect with your C category of audience is to give them some time, allow them some time. And slowly and steadily, you can engage them. By the way, throughout your training session, A can become B, B can become C, C can become A. The interchanging can also happen. And a great trainer, let's say I entered the room and I know who is A, who is B, and who's C. And that will come with experience. When you identify who's A, who's B, and who's C, you would be able to connect with the audience much better, much better. So I hope that this piece of learning is going to help you in some form. And I know I can go endlessly. Some experience we can share on what has worked, what has not worked as in this industry. But having said that, I'll again open up for questions. Okay, Sweta was asking a question. So are you liking this way of learning, or you want me to run slides? Next slide, next slide, next slide, please. Kirti says, no, no, no. You do next slide, next slide.
No. This way is working better.
This way is better, right?
Yes.
So this, right. Thank you, Kirti. Thank you. Okay, Sweta, what's your question, Sweta? But by the way, ask me tough questions. Right?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, Sweta.
Actually, I had posed the question to you already in the chat box.
Mhm.
So my question is, since I've missed, half an hour of your session, could you take me through to the soft skills training program and the details of it, the course curriculum, the eligibility
No
criteria,
problem. I'll take it through.
and
That's coming
fees?
next, Sweta.
So you haven't done that, right? In the
No.
first half an hour. Okay. So could you please tell me, sir, what you did in the first half an hour?
Well, we were only chatting, Sweta. We did not do anything by that. No, we were just trying to, learn from each other. We had one audience connect model, right?
Okay.
And don't worry, guys, if you have missed something, you can go to YouTube and you can look at a recorded masterclass, right?
All right.
So that way you can gain most of the masterclasses. I would say 50%, 60% is the same, right? Good, nice.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem, Sweta. No problem. So, any other questions, anyone? Any other questions? Any other questions?
Sir,
Okay.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
The three categories that you just mentioned, are there only three categories of audience, or there are more to it?
There are three categories. In general, there are three
Okay, A, B,
categories.
C, right?
Yes, yes. And most of the audiences can fall in that category.
So
Now,
this
the biggest
audience is
question.
talking about the learners, right? The classroom learners.
The classroom learners. The classroom learners.
Okay. And this holds true for the speakers as well? Like the speaker is speaking.
No,
and
this
the
is only
audience-
for learners. This is,
Okay,
remember,
only for
we were
learners.
talking about audience connect. Audience connect.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good. So now the biggest question for you guys, which I have. Do you guys know how much money people make as trainers in our industry? Do you guys know? You want to ask me that question? No? Nobody wants to earn. People don't want.
Sir, what kind of trainer? I mean, soft skill training or any kind of training?
Yes, any trainer.
It could be
Any
corporate
trainer.
training too.
Yeah, corporate training, soft skills training, right? Remember, in today's context, everyone is corporate. Hospitals are calling themselves corporate. Schools are calling themselves corporate. Universities are calling themselves corporate, right? Right. So this is for all, right? Tell me, guys, who can tell me how
25.
much does a trainer make? Is this something everyone
Varies.
knows?
It could vary from 25 to 30. Is that, I'm just randomly saying.
Vandana says 25 to 30. Is it 25 to 30 per day or per month, Vandana?
Maybe if you're an experienced soft skill trainer, you may get 25 per session.
25,000 per session, you're saying?
One
Maybe
of
in the
my
corporate
friends.
sector.
Okay, okay.
So
Kirti
now
is
that-
saying something.
So one of
Yes.
my friend earned around 1.5 lakh per day.
1.5 lakh, Kirti says.
Yeah,
something.
that depends on which company you're going and doing the training.
Yes,
Very good.
yes. So we can
It
earn
depends, it
like
varies.
so we should like think of the highest money, highest numbers, right?
Great.
Okay, I wouldn't let the cat out of the bag much, but my boss went and did a training program to Oxford Dental College, and he took 1.2 per day. He's getting 1.2 per day.
Perfect. I mean, good. Looks like it's a very interesting topic for all of you.
See, it's better not to run behind money. You put your performance, money follows you automatically.
But I would say, guys, I think now that you are
But-
here, I wanted to make sure that you understand what is our industry like and how much can you expect. I know one is learning, right? And before the learning, there is one more common question, which when I meet a lot of trainers and coaches, some of them have already become trainers and coaches, and then they want to certify themselves. Some of them are getting into training and coaching for the first time, right? The first question which I get from all of you, all of them, is the fact that they ask me, is certification important, Kaushik? Now, the answer is certification is important for your first 1 or 2 years only. Now, nobody asks me certificates. But when initially everybody was asking me certificate, hey, have you done anything? What's your credibility? And that's why certifications are very, very important. And coincidentally, in our industry, the Western world, where the US and UK certifications are more famous in our industry. Like in the yoga industry, Indian certifications are more famous. Right? Similarly, for training and coaching industry, the US and UK bodies are more famous, and some of them are, ICF is one international coaching federation. When it comes to, US bodies on training, there's one more which we have also got an accreditation. It is GAFS, right, US. So that's one question I wanted to answer. Certification is important. It's important for you to learn the standards, and then you tweak it based on what you want. Right? Similarly, when it comes to money, if you want to be a corporate trainer, right? Let's say you are training startups, then per day you can expect a range from something around 10,000 to 30,000 minimum per day. If it's a Fortune 500 company, which is really doing well, like we have our clients like Amazon or IBM or HP, at Indian Leadership Academy, ILA, we call it, 50% of our time we spend with corporates. We have a lot of Fortune 500 clients. You can go to our website. Now, looking at all those clients, I'm giving you this information. Right? There you can expect somewhere, right, per day, 30,000 to 1.5 lakhs per day. 30,000 to 1.5 lakhs per day. Right? Let's say, for example, now, let's say Ankita has a different, because of her experience, and I have a little more experience, so I have different rate and stuff like that. Right? So it's good. Nice. Perfect. Now, it all depends. The range is there because it all depends on your experience. Sometimes, when we have this IIM or a foreign university, popular university tag, let's say you're from Oxford or Stanford or London Business School, right? You get a little more, right? Perfect. But this is the range. Got it? Now, when it comes to universities, per day people pay you somewhere between 3,000 to 15,000 or 20,000 max. Universities in India don't pay a lot, right? And similarly, hospitals, you can, and other industries like manufacturing, right? They pay less than industries like IT industries. They pay more, right? So these are the common pricing thing, right? And they are all when you are freelancing. These are all when you are freelancing. You can also join permanent jobs. You can join permanent jobs, right? And permanent jobs somewhere when you start with this industry can be hovering between, right, somewhere around 30,000 to 60,000 per month, right? And then it changes with time. It changes with time. So did it give you an indication? And if it's an international market, guys, especially the Asian market, we do programs in UAE, Philippines, Vietnam, right? And we have seen that the Asian market, especially Philippines and India, almost the same. Vietnam, almost the same. If it's UAE, it's double India prices, double than what we charge in India. And if it's US and UK and Europe, it's 3 times what I just told you. Of course, you need to convert that price in dollars and euros. Clear? And by the way, being after pandemic, getting international clients is also a lot more easier because 80% of now trainings are happening online. So it's a good news for our industry. There seems to be this learning culture, which was never there. Everyone is now into learning, and they realize the fact that investment in learning is the best investment in life. Perfect. Good. Right. Okay. Good. Nice. So any other questions? Somebody is asking. Certificate is free. Okay, nothing comes free in this world, my dear friends. No problem. Right. But this masterclass is free. Right. Okay, no problem. Anybody? I think that a lot of people charge masterclasses 99 or 499. We don't do that, guys. But this is free. So, okay. Any other questions? Anyone? Yes, Gagana has a question. Yes, Gagana.
Hi, good evening, Mahapatra. It's nice to get in touch with you today. I've actually enrolled for the soft skill certification course, which is starting from 10th. And this is my second inning in my life, as you mentioned. work experience of 14 years. I was an instructor with Qatar Airways, training the cabin crew for soft skill as well as for the service. I've actually left my high-paying job to, come up and achieve my passion for training. So I'm just starting from the scratch to know everything about the soft skill, because I was training only a few sections of soft skills. So my question to you, I'm actually a little bit confused whether should I go for a corporate job or concentrate fully on becoming a trainer, which is a freelance. So I want to know, what is your thought about becoming a freelance trainer, number one? And second is, which is the best certification when it comes to becoming a trainer? Because I know there is a soft skill trainer, corporate trainer, and there are a master trainer, certification. So which is the best certification? And the last question is, will you be conducting the training that I've enrolled for? Do we get a chance to get trained by you and to get guided by you? So these are my questions.
Very good. I think they are great questions. I'm sure Gagna's questions will help all of us. Will help all of us. The first thing on with it is to do a freelancing job or get into something permanent. I would always say, guys, for the first 1 or 2 years, find something permanent. More than, what do you think? Even now, with 26 years of experience, do you think I get a chance to train every day? By the way, I cannot train every day. It's like asking a singer, now that you have passion for singing, sing every day for me. I cannot do that because it's very exhaustive and you really need a lot of strength in standing for 8 hours and delivering, right? So maybe I'm training 15 days a month or 20 days a month, but 30 days not possible, right? But however, my point here is when you are actually, freelancing, you'll get 2 days, 3 days to start with, and that exposure will not be great. And more than the training, you should really learn, how do I attract my clients? How do I design courses? How do I bring something very unique in this industry? Unfortunately, this industry is becoming very monotonous, guys. Everyone talks about the same thing. Same body, mind, soul videos. You look at all the videos, people start, don't do hard work, do smart work. Be happy in life. You all know that, buddy. Tell me more. Give me more techniques. Right? Teach us something which you don't know. And that's where you really need the depth, my dear friends, that 6 months or 1 year of core preparation, and especially on areas where we have worked and gained a lot of exposure. And that is how you will design new offerings which people need, and they will pay for it, my dear friends. In today's context, areas like business development, areas like sales, we don't get trainers, frankly speaking. We get sales trainers who are only motivators. Hey, you can do it. Doesn't work. Yes, to start with, it works, but you need depth. You need somebody who can teach you the nuances in terms of how can we really do it and show it and apply it and get the results in front of everyone. Right? So my answer is, Gagana, if you kind of are working for a company, let's say, it doesn't matter which company, ILA, PLA, MLA, we also have a lot of positions that way, right? And sometimes a lot of people want a lot of people because you have to run this company, right? Run company, right? So 1 year, 2 years of exposure, great. 1 year, don't freelance, I must say, if you get a chance. But if you don't have an option, let's say, I've seen a lot of people who don't have time, so you don't have any other option. The second question, right? In fact, the third question is very simple. Yes, I've designed such courses. And I would say more than me, my training team is very much experienced. They have their own styles, but I'm also a co-facilitator in all the training programs. Right? I love training. I still would like to talk to a lot of people. Right? What was the second question, by the way? Does anybody remembers Gagana's question? What is the second question which she asked?
The question was, which is the best certification as a trainer, just to start the training career? So which is the best certification that we could have?
Right. See, again, the problem with this industry is a very, very inorganized industry. lot of people started creating, naming different certifications and stuff like that. But the most popular one is train the trainer. And the other one, which is called certified master trainer, is also very popular. So train the trainer is the initial one and the master trainer is the advanced one. Certified corporate trainer is also selling like a hotcake. But again, more than the certifications, exposure to global facilitation techniques, right? A lot of people now will say, hey, Gagana, can you do a hackathon-based program for us? Or can you do a World Cafe-based program for us? Can you actually do all your program through story viewing? Can you have learning experience design to design this course? Unfortunately, we don't know all this, right? Now, more than what are you getting? I think this are very important, right? Okay, topics are very, very important. The depth is very, very important. And whenever you get I would never say join ILA. Whenever you get all these guys as a mentor, I must say, do a course wherever you feel like, hey, you got this depth. ILA, PLA, MLA doesn't matter. Okay, so that's my answer to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mahapatra.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Very good question. I think it helps all, right? Feel free, guys. Feel free to ask me questions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sweta. I'll take you
Sir,
through.
you just said a few minutes ago that initially you require certification and later on nobody asks you. But in my case, like I have been into English language teaching and training for the last 10 years. And
Yes.
I did not have any certification, so to say. And I'm from a very different background. I just got the job and I have been able to sustain myself in this industry based on my credibility and my class conduction skills. But currently I'm looking for, upgradation of my skills and certification because I want to grow, in this field. I mean, I just want to get stuck in that particular domain. So actually, just now you were mentioning the master trainer program. So I really am aspiring to be a master trainer. So
Yes.
I would like to have a few details on that too. And
Yes.
and do you agree with me? Like I have been, as I told you, that I have had no certification till now, but now I want to have,
Yes.
because I want to grow in this particular.
Sure, sure. You can actually.
So what is your opinion on this?
Yes, of course. Since you now want to go to the next level, which is master trainer certification, you need to learn more in terms of depth, in terms of how do I do programs where audiences are very senior or at the manager level, senior manager level, or I want to slowly get from academics to corporates. It is quite possible, right? And all your 10 years of experience with would be an added advantage because now you have been very, very, terrific when it comes to audience connect or creating new courses and stuff like that. But yes, that advanced certification, that master trainer and understanding a lot more on how to go to the next level is very key, right? So you can do that, right? You don't have to start with the minimum, the first level of something. You can always go for second level certifications.
So it is important, right, sir?
Very
because
important.
I find that there are opportunities, but then without the certification, I think something is missing.
Something, yes, of course, and more in terms of credibility and depth, both, by the way, right? And it's just that it's that course which is key, and then you will pick quickly things. Right? So good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Sir, I have a question. Hi.
So you can actually talk to, if you're Sweta, if you're stuck, you can talk to one of our trainers and coaches. And I really wanted to make sure that you land up with the right course and you don't waste your time, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You don't have to do level 1, level 2 and waste your time. Straight away go to level 2 and stuff like that. I feel so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Rahul has a question. Yes, Rahul.
Yes, hi. Hello, sir. Sir, I had a question that, so I had two questions basically. One is, as you mentioned that, we have 25 soft skills. Okay. Let's say I feel that, based on my experiences, I can be a good communication trainer or a team building trainer. But that's one that, we carry the experience. But if we want to, if we are willing to master at least, let's say 5 or 6 soft skills, right? I know 25 will take a lot many years. I do understand. This is my opinion. So, but when we go and, let's say we want to do a training program with a corporate, or, we are freelancing. So how do we actually basically prove that, we have a mastery and we can teach people, right? I mean, someone may ask me the question that, Rahul, why do you feel that, you can be a good communication skills trainer? Just an example. So how do we prove ourselves that this is how it looks like, or this is one. And second is like, how, what we can learn is the theory about the skills, right? But how do we get that practical exposure and take that mastery and then, deliver a training program, right? So these are my 2 questions. Thank you.
See, first of all, and this is again for all, right? So when you're picking, let's say now, if I show it to you, under communication, these are the things which are popular in the market. Though there are 25 odd soft skills, but these are the things which are very popular. Things like time management, or leadership development, or comm skills, or critical thinking, or design thinking, or problem solving, or conflict resolution, or image management, right? Or personality development, or executive presence, right? Negotiation skills. Now, the first and foremost thing is, all right, I want to add more to that answer. The first and foremost thing is, don't pick everything. Saying, hey, a lot of people say, I'm a communication skill trainer, I'm a time management trainer, I'm a leadership trainer, I'm a team building trainer, I'm a stress management trainer, I'm also an emotional intelligence coach. The moment you say that, hey, you have mastered 5 or 10 things, people will not find you credible, because mastering 10 things, tough. Yes, you can master 2 things and 3 things, but not more than that. So don't go for more than 3 is my first point. And you need to pick based on your experience, based on interest level, and based on what problems you want to resolve. Let's say, for example, you feel, oh, decision making, I am there, man. Go for it, right? That's one. Second thing is, of course, let's say when you are starting, let's say Rahul is starting and he says, hey, I want to be a leadership trainer. And he doesn't have any experience on any leadership training in the past, right? Now, how can I really get into this industry? People will find, ask him in terms of a lot of questions, saying, hey, where all you have done, right? The best thing I would suggest is, let's say, for example, we are in a community like this. When you join our programs, you'll also see that you're in a community and you have access to a lot of people. You are also doing, by the way, we have all our programs are internship based. In fact, you will work for us for 1 month and you will be given a certificate, right? They say first job is the most critical job, right? Of course, you don't have to pay extra for that. But what I'm saying is, you have to get some exposure. Let's say, for example, Rahul, you talk to Chandana and say, Chandana, you're working for this company. Can I do a leadership training for you? And Chandana says, hey, let me talk to my HR. Okay, since it's my first session, I'm not going to charge a lot. So maybe your first 5 sessions you can do pro bono, or let's say Sridevi is working for Accenture and you will say, Sridevi, hey, how about I having a session with you on leadership and you tell me what you want to learn and I'm going to see if I know something I can add value to you. And Sridevi says, yes, okay, maybe Rahul is not charging me. And now you just realize that, hey, you could teach Sridevi 3 or 4 things which she did not know. And Sridevi felt, wow, hey, Rahul, this is something which is nice. I can really use this. And now you're getting that confidence. And now it's okay to say people, when let's say now I'm asking for, I'm the L&D guy or the HR guy, and Rahul, you're talking to me, you say, hey, you know what? I've got enough depth. And instead of that, you said, I feel that, Kaushik, I've got decent depth when it comes to leadership because I've done research on these models. And you know what? Just to give you some examples, I had a client who is working from Accenture. You'll never say Accenture is your client. You will tell the truth saying, I have a client. To give you some examples, I had a client from Accenture. And I really felt that these are some of the things which she's now using, right, in her leadership, as in her management style. So the moment you give these examples, and you also give Chandana's example saying, yes, for this company, I've done the startups. So they get that confidence, and you know what? Remember, in our industry, there is one thing, the momentum is key. 5 sessions will give another 5. Another 5 will give to another 5. So first, in fact, we also, after we do all our certification programs, Rahul, we encourage, within that internship period also, we encourage, Rahul, can you get your first 5 clients? Doesn't matter who, you get it. And we are there to work with you. And when you get that first 5, I feel that we also become very confident in articulating, saying, hey, I'm there to work with you. I'm not exaggerating. I know this and I don't know this. And that honesty is what people are looking for. Unfortunately, Rahul, there are a lot of trainers who claim that, hey, come to me, I will transform you in 4 days. God also doesn't claim that in today's context. So the moment we are honest about it, on what we know, what we don't know, who are our clients, people will give you work. I have seen that honesty in this industry. Hope, Rahul, that answers your question.
Yes, to some extent, yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Rahul. And if you feel that you need to talk to us, and need to get more insights, I know this is a small masterclass, but talk to us and feel free to get in touch with us afterwards.
Sure. Thank you.
Good, great, guys. Anybody else? Bhavya has a question. Hi, Bhavya. Go for it.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Bhavya. Hi,
My
Vijay. Thank you,
question is,
Vijay. Yeah, go for it.
I am working with MNC as a SAP consultant. I don't have any relationship with this soft skill training or something, but I want to get trained in this as a region. I'm interested and looking forward to learn many things. In the beginning of the session also, as I have mentioned, I am here to learn a new skill. So for a beginner like me and a fresher like me, what all things can I expect from this course, and what are the learnings which I can take from this course?
See, a lot of people who do trainer certification or training certification in today's context, more than they training others, right? They do this course so that they can train themselves. Right? Let's say you are a technical architect. Let's say you are an SAP architect, right? And now, of course, you need to do client presentations. Of course, you need to facilitate. Of course, you need to do sessions where, let's say there is a new project, and you need to make sure that all the team members are working together and you're applying things and you're doing things together, right? So let's say you want to run something which is more of an offsite. Right? And it's not just that, I think a lot in terms of how do I talk, right? How do I, present, right? And how do I, even create my visibility, right? A lot of we techie guys, we think that our visibility is not there because we don't talk a lot. Techies are more thinkers than talkers. You believe in that, Bhavya? Right?
Yes.
That is where you will get that, with these kind of courses, you'll get that visibility. People will notice you saying, oh, wow, Bhavya is talking a lot, right? In meetings, in client meetings, and the way she's presenting now is very different, right? So that's what it is. That's what it is. Good. When you're on-site also, it also gives you a lot more weightage because your soft skills is better now in interacting with people. Right? So everyone needs soft skills, and soft skills is a new way of life, right? Perfect. Good. Bhavya, does that answer to your question, or I'm sure she has something else in her mind?
Yes, but one more doubt I have to this. Like after completing this session, can I conduct sessions for the there are many MBA colleges now. Many students are now
Yes, you
interested,
can.
whether be MBA, whether be engineering. For everything, you need to be prepared to crack an interview. So can I be able to become a trainer so that I can relate to their problems, because I'm
Yes,
an
you
MBA
can.
graduate.
You can, Bhavya, you can.
And I know how people fail when it comes to placements because of their fears. They just panic and they are not able to crack that interview or something. So will it be able to do justice in that?
Yes, of course. See, when you're teaching them pre-placement trainings or interviewing skills, you'll be able to design courses for them, right? And just because you have gone through it, you really don't want them to, have the same problem. So you will also learn how to facilitate, how to train them, right? So not just designing courses, but training. So these kind of courses help you, right, to create what you want to do for your audience. And of course, the certificates will give you the credibility when you are approaching university saying, hey, I'm also I'm also an SAP consultant, and I'm also a trainer who specialize more in universities. And I've created my course, and then people will say, hey, why don't you, Bhavya, come for let you become a chief guest, or you become a guest speaker, right? Online, offline, doesn't matter. So credibility helps, guys. Okay, anybody else has a question? Rahul still has a question, I guess. Yes, Rahul.
Yes. Thanks. Sir, like I saw that, there are many techniques what you're teaching us where, we build our brand, we market ourselves, right? And we build the network. So even this course will cover this in detail.
Yes.
Right. I mean, how to build the connections and all that stuff. Yeah.
Right. So if you look at these guys, these are the things which, this is one, you need to know when you really want to be an outstanding trainer, right? I would say these are the 7 elements, which is very, very important, right? And all these elements are part of our training programs. Right? So the first element is the reason for you to be a trainer, the intent, what exactly is your big why, and I'm sure that self-discovery has to happen, guys, or else it becomes yet another job for you, or else you will not see that intensity when you are training people, right? In Japanese, we call it, what's your ikigai as a trainer, right? It's very, very key. So you work with your ikigai, your reasoning on why you want to teach people and stuff like that. The second one is assessment. Somebody should do an assessment of you saying, hey, Bhavya, hey, Sridevi, this is where you are good as a trainer. And these are the areas where you need to improve as a trainer. If you get that report, then obviously you're better prepared for your training and coaching industry. Right? So that's also something which is very, very key. And we talked about the identity. What's your specialization? What's your niche? Based on what you have done in the past and what you want to do in the future. We also talked about that 6 months nurturing. Right? 6 months, guys, you need to nurture yourself with a lot of tools, techniques. Right? That's what it is. And branding is the key. Right? How do I brand ourselves? Especially we teach you LinkedIn branding, because LinkedIn is the most authentic platform now for trainers and coaches. I would say even for me or for my organization or our organization, 70% of business comes from LinkedIn, and it's absolutely free. Right? So you can also do LinkedIn branding and digital branding in today's context, right? If your name is being searched and is searchable in Google, then of course you will come, right? If you now search soft skills trainer certification in India, you would see that ILA comes in top 3. And that's why probably we have a little more credibility, right? Now, what we do afterwards is a different thing, but at least now people are getting attracted, right? That's what branding can do. And we will teach you what all went well in our branding approach, what did not work well, right? How can you start your branding with a very, very less investment, right? And then finally, how do I attract opportunities? You should be exposed to who are the top 10 corporate training companies, top 10 corporate trainers. After the program, whom should you reach out to in terms of opportunities? Because sometimes they also have open positions, right? So that's what also is part of the courses. And finally, after the course, how can you be a lifelong learner? What are the resources which you should really be counting on in terms of updating yourself, upgrading yourself? So all this, not just branding, Rahul, but all these 7 elements, which we call it the rainbow model, it's a trademark model at Indian Leadership Academy. And the last 6 years, a lot of our trainers use this for becoming a successful trainer. Is part of our course, is part of our.
Sir, one last question. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Just one last question. I mean, how much the practical experience is necessary in terms of I'm talking of that functional experience. So, for example, let's say I want to be a leadership development trainer, where I'll be teaching the heads and the CXO level people how to lead or inspire the team, right? But this I will do my research and the learning of the leadership models. That's one. But then at some point of time, is it necessary that even I have to be a head or a CXO level person and only then I can teach people, or it's the other way?
You see, both ways work. So if you already have done such kind of positions, then it's an added advantage. If you have not done, at least you should have prior experience that Vikram is a CEO, right? Right? As getting associated with Vikram in some way and finding out how can you contribute to his leadership development is the key. And similarly, like Vikram, let's say you have also picked Chaitanya, you have picked Priyanka, you have picked Subhasri and Brinda and Maharaja. And you have now 5-6 clients already who are already CXOs, and you work with them. Right? So it's like that. So that is how it is, Rahul. But if you had a previous experience, an added advantage.
Thank you.
But both works.
Thanks.
Okay, for some of you, probably if you're getting late, I also wanted to show you the dates for our soft skills trainer certification. We also have some advanced courses. You can inquire with our team. But anybody who wants to know what are the, by the way, these are some of the things which we discussed in terms of what you should learn in a trainer course curriculum, right? Don't worry, if you reach out to our team, you will get your brochures, detailed brochures in terms of what can you learn and what is trending in today's context, right? Similarly, things like virtual facilitation. I talked about LXD. I talked about branding, selling, the corporate cycle in general, right? So some of these facilitators you will see in your training programs. I will also be there. And all we trainers are more than 15-20 years of experience, right? Have been into, good business schools and a lot of industry experience. Some of us are from the educate, some of us are also being educators. So that also gives a different dimension, right? For our soft skills certification program, there are 3 certificates we have: certified corporate trainer, certified soft skills trainer, and train the trainer. And by the way, we have a masterclass price. The program starts from 10th April to 16th April. It's a 1-week theory program followed by 1 month of internship. So basically, you can say it's a 5 weeks program. For this 1 week, weekdays, it's Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And weekends, it's Saturday and Sunday, 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Of course, with a lot of breaks. And if you miss any of our programs on any of the days, then we'll also provide a recording so that you don't miss out more. And the masterclass price for this program is 25,000 plus 18% GST. So I'm sure you can be this can be a great start for you guys, and you can count on it. So any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Okay, was it helpful, by the way? Was it helpful, my dear friends? Is this masterclass of any help? Would you like to attend such masterclasses in future? I want to hear from everyone in the chat box, right? Would you think that, is this in some way helping you? Arita says yes. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that this is really helping people, right? Bhavya says yes. Okay. Okay. Anybody else would like to share whether it is helpful, or is there anything you'd like to see extra in future masterclasses? We'll also be able to accommodate that so that in future, a lot of our aspiring trainers and coaches are getting benefited. Okay, Reena says, good eye opener. Okay, guys, thank you. Sridevi says, a lot of clarity and approach. Thank you, Sridevi. Right. Okay, anybody else? Lot of clarity for the approach. Okay, Sridevi. Maharaja says, thanks. Okay, anybody has any other questions? But today's people says today's. Yeah.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, Bhavya.
Like I'm working on a night shift. So is there any other timings for me during the daytime where I can attend the session?
Yes. I think mostly it is on day only. If you look at it on Saturday and Sunday, right? But in the weekdays, it's from 6 to 9. So if you can accommodate a little, right? So you can be able to manage. Or else for 1 or 2 days, if you have any problems, then you can take recordings, right? And that's how you can manage Bhavya. Right? And sometimes, if you really miss something and you really need an extra session from a mentor, I think our mentors have been really flexible in doing a little, at least a little extra, right? And you'll see that there's some 15-20 people or 20-30 people in the batches, and we also do some peer-to-peer learning. So in the day's time, let's say Dharitri is your peer. So Dharitri only can help you to go through what you've missed. So that's where you can. Okay, good. Right. So by the way, there's some information in the chat box. We have more numbers from our customer success team. If you want to reach out to us, I've also put my, for all you masterclass people, I will in fact give you my link of the latest book I've been reading, where I've written a lot for trainers and coaches. I wanted to go through that book. I'm sure it will add some value to you. Right? So you can do that. Perfect. Garitri, you're being silent. Any questions from you? Are you okay?
Sir, actually, I wanted to ask you, like, I belong from Assam, Guwahati. So, and here there is a huge scope, but actually means how to start now, I'm not getting it. Actually, like the colleges also, they are not so much interested. How to convince them actually? They're like,
yes,
we don't need only, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, what you can do is we have a partner based out of Guwahati, and Rashita has done so much when it comes to training. So maybe Dharitri, if you can reach out to our team, we can make you talk to her so that she kind of exposes you to the Assam market. And when it comes to knowledge and wisdom, these certification process can help you, right? And yes, Guwahati is improving day by day. And I see, by the way, every time we have a batch, we will see some people, from Northeast and Assam especially. So I think there's a lot of scope, but I think she would be the right person to guide you.
Sir, but for one of my friends, she is a media and communication coach. So recently she asked me if means I have this coaching institute of my own. Means, so she asked me, Gayatri, is it possible to conduct a workshop like this for 3 days, at least for 3 days? I'll be providing certificates and all. You just arrange the students and you give me your office to use for the daytime. Yeah, we prepared all that creative and all, no? But like only 2 or 3 students showed up. Means they only inquired about, ma'am, what is this? So how much is the fees? So here, if you are charging means 2000 also for the month, it is very high for them actually. Means they will spend they are going to spend everywhere. KFC jayenge, Burger King mein jayenge, ye karenge, wo karenge, but they are not into, means they are not going to spend a penny for learning. Right. This is the main problem. Actually, the government is the main problem. I should not raise all that type of topics here, but like they are not ready to spend anything on learning actually.
But Dharitri, again, see, one is the Assam, right? And second is the fact that, you have whole India as your audience, right? And especially when it's an online market now, international trainings, countries like Sri Lanka, Nepal, right? Very easy access, Mauritius, Maldives, Vietnam, Philippines. A lot of Indian trainers now have online programs with them. So one is Assam, of course, which is coming up slowly. And the other thing is the other market. And by the way, when you've got 3 people in your first class also, which is good to start with, it takes some time, at least 6 months, 1 year to have some credibility.
So, but she is she is experienced. She used to conduct all these workshops in Delhi, Faridabad and all. For Assam, this was something new. So at least 10 to 12 people could have showed up. I feel actually.
No problem. I think it's all about trying new markets, right? But I would say the whole Indian market is for you guys to start with at least.
Okay, yeah. For online platform though, it is good. Yeah.
Good. In fact, all our 80% of programs are online now, even for Fortune 500 companies and big companies are investing online. Okay, it's good. So I see a lot of people in the non-video mode. Regina, Vibhuti, Kaivalya, Satish, Bilby. I hope I'm pronouncing your names right. So if you have any questions, you can always ask, guys. And thank you again for being here in this masterclass and asking me a lot of questions. I would love to be in touch in LinkedIn. I have already put my LinkedIn link, if I'm not wrong. Yes, the team has already put. So let's be in touch and let's thank somebody. By the way, Vandana is here. Hi, Vandana. How are you? Very good.
Hi. Yeah. Thank you so much for the session. It was really informative.
Thank you, Vandana.
Thank you.
All the best, guys, and let's thank somebody, Ankita, for creating this Masterclass. Can you all clap for her? Can you all clap for her? Thank you, Ankita, for
Thank you,
setting this
Kaushik.
up.
Thanks all.
And
Thanks
thank
for
you,
joining
everyone.
today.
Thank
All
you,
the best to
everyone,
you
for
all.
asking a lot of questions. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Bhavya.
Thanks.
Thank you, Vandana.
Thanks
Thank
all.
you, Prajot, Aparna. Thank you, Maharaja. Subhasri was asking a lot of questions. Okay,
Thanks,
Harita,
Kaushik.
bye. Nishya, Priyanka, everyone, bye. Take care.